Hello. How do you know if your going no contact is actually working? We're going to cover that in this video. Hi, my name's Marie from Revelation Therapy, and this is the Revelation Station where we talk and take action on overcoming narcissistic relationships. So, if you've had a relationship with a narcissist, the general advice seems to be always go no contact. And there's good reason for that. But how do you know that going no contact is working? So maybe you're thinking about going no contact with somebody, or you have gone no contact with someone, but you're not sure if it's actually working. We're going to cover 8 signs that going no contact is working. And of course, everyone's different. Everyone's situation is different. You might not experience all of these 8 things, but I'm pretty sure that you'll be relating to some, and I'm interested to know what ones. So, the first sign going no contact is working is that you notice changes in the narcissist's behavior. And these are really withdrawal effects because narcissists are energetic vampires. They feed on other people's energy in terms of their emotions, their emotional energy. And some changes that you might notice once you've gone no contact include like increased activity from them. So they might be trying to get in contact with you more. They just might be just making more noise in general. Or you might actually notice the opposite, where they seem to have disappeared off the face of the planet. Um, you may notice changes in their behavior. They might be quicker to rage and just more irritable in general, because their source of supply, their energy, the emotional feeding ground of you is being withdrawn from them, and that is going to affect them. You may notice, like I said, this increased activity. It may be an attempt to reel you back in or hoover you back into being a source of supply, into being um, somebody that is around them. And so there might be these attempts of, hoovering to try and bring you back in. So that might be them being Mr. or Mrs. Nice Guy or Girl, um, perhaps like they were in the beginning of the relationship, and showing their best side to try and re-establish a relationship with you. You may notice a change in the behavior of flying monkeys. So these are just associates of you and or the narcissist. So the narcissist may try and use other people to get to you, either for positive or negative effect. So for positive effect, they'll use flying monkeys to try and reel you back in, maybe try and get you to feel sorry for them, or to try and understand some sort of struggle that they're going through and how you might be able to make it all better. Or by using flying monkeys in a negative effect, you might see things like smear campaigns, spreading rumors and gossip about you, because they really know that, or they'll have a good sense at this stage that you know the truth about them, that it's not all sunshine, rainbows, and roses in this relationship, and that there is a darker side, and they really will be needing and wanting to maintain their image. You may also notice that they plaster their happiness all over social media, kind of, like a defense mechanism. I know, like, I think in my really younger years, this is probably something that I would do. I never wanted to show somebody if they'd upset me. I just used to, put on a brave face. And I guess this is kind of, the narcissist's version of that. It's like, no, I'm fine, kind of a thing. But like they're actually not. But I feel like I need to over explain right now, because like just because they are in pain, that doesn't make that their previous behavior acceptable. Um I just wanted to put that in there for the people that will feel, a guilt or obligation to try and rescue somebody, because this isn't a case where somebody can be rescued. They may also wave like a carrot in front of your face. So, the things that they know are important to you, for example, if they knew that you really wanted to get married or have children, or you wanted to move somewhere, they will, just say little things like, oh, I was actually just going to propose, or I was going to say we could move there. And they will, use these little carrots as like a manipulation, a little like, oh, I'm waving a shiny object here. I know you wanted this. To try and get your interest again. And then there may also be promises to change from them, and or other kind of manipulations as well. So I really like to think of the analogy of like, if you go on a detox as a diet, which I've been on many times because I actually have gut issues, and I get told so many times to cut out sugar and dairy and gluten and all these things. Now, when you do that, you experience a kind of, they call it die off, or even if you've ever given up caffeine or sugar or processed food, you might have experienced some sort of like headaches or cravings. And I really think a lot of the changes in the narcissist's behavior are these sort of detox effects. They are getting used to their new normal. I hate that that's become a phrase that's now like something that we use on the regular, but hey. And a lot of these behaviors are signs of their cravings for their emotional energy, and supply from anywhere really. So the second sign that going no contact is working is noticing changes and the withdrawal effects in yourself. And, going back to this diet analogy, you may experience really, really intense cravings to be around the narcissist, or to think about them, or to contact them. And it can actually, just like when we go on a detox, feel a lot worse before it then gets better. And I think many people at this stage will actually want to quit going no contact, because they'll just be like, this feels so bad. I can't possibly go through with this. I need this person. And obviously, there is the element of the trauma bond there with them. You've gone through such intense highs and lows with them, that intensity is associated with them. And so it's natural for many people to experience this difficult withdrawal effects, these cravings, or a sense of, for me, I always used to think of it as like, I just feel like I'm addicted to them. Like, and I would also find myself doing crazy things as well, like wanting to accidentally on purpose bump into them. So I wasn't actually breaking no contact. Like, it really, I've heard people compare it to like the withdrawals of a heroin addict, or a really intense um drug that you have really just assimilated into your system, and you need to detox yourself from. So a few things that can help with this are hypnotherapy. Psychic cord cutting is amazing. I offer that. There's also free versions of that if you just look on YouTube for psychic or energetic cord cutting. I would recommend listening to that every day for 30 days, but it really is more powerful if you can see someone in person, or via Zoom or something like that, and have it done um, actually live. It is just so much more powerful to allow you to kind of let go. And then some other things to really help with the trauma, again, hypnotherapy, but perhaps EMDR, or emotional freedom technique, as well. These things can really help to lower the stress and anxiety, and break that trauma bond once and for all. And at this time, with these withdrawal effects, you might find that your concentration is low. It's just really hard to actually focus on your life. And you might be thinking, well, life was supposed to get better without the narcissist. Why is it getting worse? Why am I feeling worse? You might be using things like comfort food or other ways of self medicating just to kind of like cope and survive during this time. And I put this as a separate point, but it is all kind of related. These changes in yourself, these withdrawal effects, and these are really like the feelings, like intense feelings that can come along with this detox. And again, like just like the analogy of going on a diet detox, that can also bring up different emotions as you're detoxing. Detoxing the toxins from your body. And it's no different here. So you might find that your anxiety and your fear increases, maybe of what they might say or do next. And also, another thing I noticed is that anxiety can increase just because you're actually away from the dangerous situation now, the stressful situation. And just like when somebody experiences a traumatic event, it's often after that event that they then experience the real anxiety and fear and post traumatic stress symptoms. And so, this is actually really the time that these kind of things can come up once you have actually left the stressful situation, which is the narcissistic relationship. And so it's quite common to feel higher levels of anxiety. Again, the same things can help with that: hypnotherapy, the rewind trauma technique, EMDR, and emotional freedom technique can all really help with lowering that stress response and that trauma response. And if you don't have access to those things, meditation and breath work can help. And then there's the other emotions as well. So I really feel like this kind of period, it's almost like an emotional jumble sale of like sorting out like all these different emotions. So there can be sadness, there can be anger, rage, and just also a period of confusion and disbelief over, did that actually happen? What happened? Like, is it me? Am I crazy? Self doubt. And then there can also be feelings of guilt and responsibility that you've left somebody that um, has expressed that they need you, or you feel responsible for them in some way. And these are all normal feelings, and they are not there to show that you should go back, but they are there to be expressed and released, and then in doing that you are then able to move on. But I think it just comes down to that really difficult um kind of experience of almost like shedding that experience that can lead a lot of people to want to just think, oh, it's too hard, or it's not working, or maybe I should go back. And actually, like when you do stick with your healing and stick with that experience, you then move on to the further signs that going no contact is working for you. So, let's move on to the fourth sign. And this is, let me read my notes, perspective. So you start to get a different perspective on the relationship and on that person, and even on the person that you were when you were in that relationship. And you just start to get a little bit of distance, and you start to see the reality really of what happened. You might get thoughts about certain things that came up, or that they said or you did, and just really think to yourself like, wow, that was really crazy. Or you just kind of see it for what it is. And it's it can be quite a sort of powerful realization at the same time. And this is really one of the huge, huge benefits from going no contact as opposed to going like low contact. because you really get that distance and that space, and with that distance and space comes perspective. Um, so yeah, if you imagine like a toxic substance, you would really want to get fully away from that. Otherwise, you still kind of have a little bit of the effects of that, and you don't get the full benefits of going no contact. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go no contact or stay no contact or do or not do anything, but that these are decisions for you to make. But these are generally the signs that going no contact is working for you. So the fifth sign that no contact is working, one moment, is that your feelings towards them start to change. And you might find yourself thinking things like, wow, I don't even like them that much, or I didn't even like them that much. And I'm just sort of feeling like meh, or a little bit apathetic towards them. Whereas, like, I just used to be so into them. They were like they were my world. And now I just feel like, yeah, like I'm not even sure that I even liked them when I was with them. And you might think things like, what was I doing? Or like, wow, I can't believe I actually put up with that. Especially, like I said, with the fourth sign, you get that perspective. You really start to just see things in a different light. And especially after processing many of the uh, emotions that can come up, you once that's happened, you then, like I said, your feelings towards them very well may change. The sixth sign that no contact is working is that you start to feel better. You feel more energized. You feel calmer. Your emotions are uh, perhaps on a more even keel. You don't have these intense highs and lows anymore. And you're also more focused on your life. So you may have got back to previous activities or friendships and relationships, or you might have picked up new things that you are just really enjoying doing. And you'll notice a sense of fulfillment in other areas of your life that you didn't have when this person was around. Perhaps more confidence, perhaps more success. Um, and yeah, just generally just feeling like you have yourself back, and you have your energy back, and you have your focus back. Um, so the seventh sign is that no contact is working, is that you've kind of forgotten about them. You just don't really think of them anymore. They're not part of your life. They're not part of your thoughts. They're not part of your emotional body. They're just something that happened, or the relationship was just something that happened, but it's in the past, and it just, yeah, it really just doesn't affect you. You may forget details about them, about the things you did together. You might forget, um, yeah, details of them and what you did together. um, and it just doesn't consume your brain and your body and your life anymore. So there's kind of a sense of real freedom there, which I love. Actually, about forgetting them, I was on social media yesterday, and I saw someone post something, and the name was pretty similar to like the previous narcissist. And for a second, I was like, is that them? What was their name? Like, I'd literally forgotten their name. And this is someone I was very, very close to for a very long period of time. And I was like, what was their name? Now, I do have some other tips on actually how to forget a narcissist. Uh, and I used a lot of hypnotherapy and psychology practices on myself so that I was able to uh, kind of just use a bit of clever psychology in order to get to that stage where I forget. So I can make more videos about that. And when I create the course, Detoxing from the Narcissist, I'll definitely be including all of that in the course. And finally, the eighth sign that no contact is working is that you have literally no idea how long you've been no contact, and you're not tracking how long you've been no contact. I guess if we're going back to a detox or a diet example, you wouldn't be tracking what you eat or anything like that, because you just have complete freedom and you feel amazing. So um you're no longer thinking, oh, okay, by the end of the month it's going to be 1 year no contact, or on this date it's no contact. And you've also pretty much forgotten any kind of anniversary dates as well. Or if they do come up, it's just kind of like it's just kind of like a nothing thing. It's just like, oh yeah. Huh. And then you move on with your life. So obviously, everyone is different. You may experience all of these, you may experience some of these, you may experience none of these. I'd be interested to know what stage you're at. Have you gone no contact? What of these have you experienced or are you experiencing? And what have you found that's really helped you get through these times and these moments? Hopefully, this video has really helped. If you would like more help, do check out my free workbook. What's it called? Heal from narcissistic abuse and become a self-empowered healer. I'll leave the link in the description below. And there are some exercises in there that will actually help you not only go no contact, but stay no contact and um, really start to own that, like embody what no contact actually is, which is just, letting them go and being able to live your life as you and for you once again, or maybe for the first time. And if you would like even more support, I do have a one-on-one coaching program, Narc Detox, where over the course of a few sessions, we completely break the trauma bond and we go through the recovery phases that are needed in order to reclaim yourself. And I am planning to make other videos on no contact. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. But in the meantime, I hope that you've enjoyed that. I wish you all the best on your healing journey. I've gone no contact many times, and I honestly have to say I have zero regrets for any of them. Some of the best decisions I've ever made, and some of the most challenging times of my life have led me to the most rewarding. So if you identify someone in your life that really isn't serving you in any way, shape, or form, then and you're struggling with going and staying no contact, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It gets so, so, so much better and your life improves drastically. So just bear that in mind. Okay, take care for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.